I think it's a long time coming for me to be able to address this. So many women claim that they can't listen to me because, oh, Princella doesn't like men. Oh, Princella is a lesbian. How on earth could I take her advice? She wants us all to be gay. And when I hear women say that, it brings me to the conclusion that those women are extremely desperate.
I'm actually surprised and a little disappointed that you believe that this unsatisfactory explanation is you actually addressing what was being said of you. Because to me, it just seems like you deflected. For starters, your behavior seems off to me because usually when you come on my timeline, this is what you look like. This right here. This person right here, who is this? Like, who is this? This person you putting on with the wig and the makeup and the talking, like, it's like you're cosplaying a woman. And then sometimes you're cosplaying a man. And sometimes you're cosplaying both. It's like, what is this? That's a performative contradiction. That's an inconsistent persona presentation. It makes me feel like you have some type of mental health disorder, like you got multiple personalities or something. Now, I can respect image management, strategic self-presentation. Kind of got to do that when you're a content creator. But this really looks like disassociative identity disorder. The reason why women shouldn't be listening to you when it comes to advice about men is because you try to make it seem like men are the worst people in the world, right? You got all of these different archetypes that explain men negatively, but then you turn around and you want to be one. And that's the problem. That's why women think you want other women to be lesbian.
So I am the author of the 41 Shades of Men, The Pursuit to Subdue and Use You, where I've come up with 41 different archetypes of men and what they pursue and use women for. I would like to know why you think I'm so desperate to yearn and urge and crave for a man to want to roach up on me and live in my house. Because I'm under the impression that your idea of liking a man is just digging in the dumpster for dirty eggplant.
Okay, let's pretend that all men are, in fact, the 41 archetypes that you have claimed they are. Then that would mean you're telling us this because you want us to want you, which is technically a man with a snatch. You claim you don't like men, and men are just these terrible creatures, but you behave like one all of the time. Extremely masculine.
I observe that you have a lack of communication skills. You are displaying a lot of masculine behaviors. You said you're a representative of women. You're a leader of women. Fantastic. Leaders are always under scrutiny because we want to know that you are somehow better off or superior, or your thinking, philosophy, and methods have yielded greater outcomes than the average person, which gives you merit for actually teaching them. Now understand this. If you are a woman who can't even maintain a meaningful relationship with the father of your child, you failed in romance. You're trying to step out as the leader of women and you failed at marriage. Marriage is supposed to be till death do us part, and it appears you're still alive. So you failed at that. You're no example of romance. Furthermore, on a financial level, if you want to teach women, one of the most meaningful things to teach anyone in this land of opportunity is finances, and you've not excelled at that. And then if you look at education, you're just now getting a degree and you're creeping into menopause age. So you failed at that. So the fact is, you have not outperformed any average woman. So what is so narcissistic in your mind that makes you think you're up here to be a teacher of others? You are not an example of others. Your habits are very base. That's why I bring it up. And now that we got that established, I'm happy to go on to a number of debate topics that we have. But when you want to step out and say you're a leader, have some credentials. When I step out and say I'm a leader, I outperform the average man in all of the major categories that
we have to raise our standards significantly higher as heterosexual Black women when we are choosing women to lead us, guide us, or advise us. I've seen Black women cancel women for less.
You use like opportunism, like you're disingenuous. You adjust yourself amongst two contrasting identities. It's like you use behaviors to fit different narratives or respond to criticism. So depending upon who your audience is or what you're trying to address, you put on a specific personality to address it. That's why people can't trust you. Because at the end of the day, it's just like, who are you? Which one are you today? Which one of these women is the real you? End of the day, like, because people want authenticity, right? You want to see who people truly are. That's what gets people loyal to you. But which one are you faking the funk? One of them you faking the funk. You can't be both. You only act feminine when you are trying to defend yourself against some type of criticism where someone is saying you don't act feminine enough. And then you act masculine around people who feel comfortable with your masculinity. I've seen interviews of you being extremely masculine because they allowed you to be there in that environment.
Look at you right here, not very lady. Like, you got your legs spread wide open like you got a pipe and balls there.
If you get on a certain type of podcast with a certain type of man who does not find your masculinity appealing, you come onto that podcast feminine. I mean, barely though. Trying to portray yourself as feminine because you put on a feminine aesthetic when you feel like it doesn't mean you're a feminine woman to the core. You know what I mean? To the core, it seems like you're masculine, like you want to be a man. So that's why women shouldn't be listening to you, because clearly you're a woman. You gave birth. But for you to be negatively speaking about men all of the time and then to turn around and behave like one is just strange to me. That's why I particularly couldn't logically connect with your content. You are navigating criticisms in a calculated way, but at the same time, it's not honest. It's not genuine. That's why I don't fuck with it. Some people might call it versatility or, try to make it more complicated. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you're going to be out here giving women advice and telling women all of these negative things about men, my suggestion would be for you to not be as masculine as you are sometimes. I mean, this is toxic femininity and toxic masculinity in one person. That just seems strange to me.